Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Mitch and I make videos about pretty much credit. If you want to get to know me a little bit more, know a little bit about my background, go to my website. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I do have a tab that's called the About Me page. It's a few sentences long, and you'll be able to understand how is it that I'm so knowledgeable when it comes to this subject, and just get to know me on a personal level. Anyways, let's get straight to this video. As you can see, I have a chart here that the factors that make up your FICO score. I'm sure you guys seen this chart before, and if you guys haven't, well, I'm glad you're able to see it first here on my video. 35% is payment history, 10% is new credit, 10% is credit mix, 15% is credit history, the length of credit history, and this is one that a lot of people dismiss, and I'll explain to you guys why. But let me just and the next one is 30% amounts owed. So let me go back to that 15% length of credit history, guys. A lot of people tend to dismiss this one. Okay, I'm going to simplify this in a way that you might understand this, because I don't want to get into, the terminology that it's going to just confuse you. If you want to have an 800 credit score, or you always wonder why is it that you don't have an 800 or whatever credit score, it's because one of the factors of your credit score is the length of average length of history. Banks love to see an average of 4.5 years of average, not how many years you have credit, the average. So they use a formula. They calculate your oldest credit card with your newest credit card, and then they just do the numbers. And I'm not even gonna go into that. I'll make another video explaining how that works. But again, guys, if your goal, because a lot of people DM me asking, I want an 800 credit score. I don't know. I used to be like that, but now I just don't really care. Just a little heads up. You have to have on your credit, for example, here. Let me show it to you guys. Right here, credit age, this has to say 4.5 years, not a year and 2 months, because banks don't like to see that little bit of average credit age. So 10% and 20% of 10% of new credit and 10% of credit mix is it's very simple, guys. It's obviously literally what it says of your new credit cards. It gives you a 10% boost, and then a 10% of your credit mix of building your credit profile. So what I mean by that is that you want to have multiple credit cards on your credit report. You want to have different types of loan, like a car loan, a personal loan, things like that. So that's a credit mix, and that makes up a little bit of your credit score. But the two main ones, and obviously, is payment history. And let me throw you guys a little bit of a golden nugget, or I don't know if you even want to consider it golden nuggets, but a lot of people don't understand that having one late payment is the equivalent of having one collection account on your credit report. Your score will go down. That's why it's very important to make payments on time. I have them all set up on automatic payments, and I just pay the minimum 25 months. That's just as a safety net in case I forget, or in case have an emergency and I don't have time to make that payment. But obviously, I always pay my credit cards in full, so I don't need to worry about that. But if you're an individual that you're always traveling, or you're very busy, just set up automatic payments. Put $25 for it to make the payment, and you should be fine. Because again, guys, one late payment is the equivalent of having one collection account on your credit report. And now to the 30% amounts owed. This was not one of my favorite topics to speak about, but this is one that I'm happy to explain to you guys, because I always get a message, a DM, an email explaining. People always asking me, Mitch, I don't have a collections account. I've never been late. I've been a responsible credit user. I pay all my on-time payments. Blah blah blah. Why is it that my credit score is so low, and why is it that I can't get approved for anything? And let me explain to you guys why. So hypothetically speaking, guys, let's just say I have a credit card, right? Let's just say I have a credit card, and my credit limit on that credit card is $1,000, but I owe $850. That means my credit utilization is at 85%. I'm almost maxed out on that credit card, and since I only have one credit card, that means that I only have 15% left to max out this credit card, and banks hate that. But let's just say, same scenario, but let's say I had a second credit card, right? Okay, before I showed you guys, before I explain the second example, so okay, back to the $1,000 credit card, right? And I owe $850. That means my credit utilization is at 85%. Okay, I hope you're following me here. 85%. Because your credit utilization is at 85%. Again, this is another example of how having a high credit utilization is the equivalent of having a collection account on your credit report, because that's what What that is going to cause is for your credit score to just significantly, and I mean it's going to drop by 120 points, just because you're almost maxing out that credit card. If you have that credit card below 10%, you're golden. You're fine. You don't need to worry about it. Your credit score is going to be up there. I know banks and a lot of people and a word of mouth always say keep your cards at 30%. Forget about that rule. That's BS rule. I don't know who invented this rule, but the golden number is anywhere from 1 to 10%. Again, guys, please ignore the 30. Even here on Experian, they have 30% amount owed. That's, please pretend it says 10%. I'm telling you, from all my years of experience, that's actually really bad. You want to have at least 1 to 10%. The golden number, in my opinion, from my experience, it's 7%. But as long as you're anywhere from 1 to 10%, even 1 to 15%, you're actually okay. But having 30% owed on a credit card is a lot. So, for example, let's say you have a $1,000 credit card again, and to have 30% amount owed, that would mean you're $300 in debt. That's, in my opinion, I never carry a balance on none of my credit cards. So I guess I'm not the best person for this, but I'm telling you, if you guys are into credit card churning, if you guys want to make money from your credit cards, the golden rule and the ACO method is 10%. Just throwing that out there. Again, that's a golden nugget. If you want to Google the ACO method, go for it. So yeah, so again, let me backtrack again and explain to you guys. So if in this scenario I only had one credit card, okay, so let me go back to that $1,000 credit card that I owe $8,500. But let's say I had a second credit card, and that credit card has $5,000, but it's at zero. I haven't used it. That means that my credit utilization is actually going to go lower, because it's going to go based on my overall credit limit, not just on that credit card. It does it overall. So I'm going to insert a picture for you guys, and hopefully you guys can understand it just by looking at this little graph. Again, guys, please feel free to DM me. Please hit me up on Instagram, send me an email, whatever it is. If you have any questions, I'm very passionate when it comes to this subject, and I honestly want to avoid you guys from having a hard inquiry on your credit report. And you know what? Since I'm on the hard inquiry subject, let me explain to you guys. Let me show you guys this graph. Hard inquiries on your credit report is actually very bad, especially if you're trying to apply for a Chase card. You know, I'll make another video about the 524 rule when it comes to Chase. But I'm gonna throw you guys a little gold nugget. If you have more than 5 hard inquiries on your credit report, Chase will automatically deny you for any credit card, no matter if you have an 850 credit score. And again, if you have every time you apply for credit, every hard inquiry, not a soft inquiry, hard inquiry, your credit score is gonna drop anywhere from 3 to 11 points, depending on the FICO or depending on the credit module that the individual is using. Again, there's different modules that a creditor uses to get up your credit score. Most of them don't use the FICO because it's very expensive for them to use that software. So most of them use Advantage. That's a Advantage credit score, and that's exactly what Credit Karma uses as well. Again, guys, I don't want to throw you so much information to you guys on this video, but again, if you guys have any question, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It keeps me motivated, and it shows me that I'm actually doing a good job, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. Feel free to hit that like, comment, subscribe, whatever. And again, even if you don't subscribe, if you have any questions about the credit world or anything, please feel free to DM me or write something down in the comments. I only have 20 subscribers, so your comment will not get lost in my comments. And I'll be more than happy to answer. So alright, guys, till next time.